Join Bev Lazar, spiritual mentor, Reiki master, psychic medium, with Shelly Greenlaw, doula, yogi, and intuitive energy healer. Two sisters walking the path of spirit to share their experience and advice in all things energy, intuition, and beyond. The Empath Sisters.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the Empath Sisters. This is Bev joining you.
This is Shelly.
We're so excited to have you back. As usual, I think we say this all the time anyway. So
every time.
Every time. We're so excited. Yes, we appreciate you being here and listening today. We are going to chat actually about some, I want to say October insight. I don't know what else to call it. I don't want to say like forecasting because that's just feels like too weathery.
Yeah, but a lot of people say forecast.
I know.
Some even say predictions or,
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know what you would want to call it, really.
Yeah, that's why I said insights. I'm like,
Yeah.
insights feels good
Yeah.
to me. I feel like it's a good word for what we do.
Mhm.
Forecasting feels like, I don't know. It just takes me to weather for some reason. I'm like, I just don't want to talk about the weather.
Yeah.
We all know what the weather's turning like, so we don't need to talk about it.
Tell me about it. People keep
Yeah.
bringing it up. And I'm like,
I know.
stop. I'm like,
I know.
get it out there.
Like, turn down the volume. Turn down the volume.
It's
It's
like, can we
okay.
not enjoy fall first? Like
Oh,
right
fall
away,
is
people
just so
are
beautiful.
I know, but people are
Mhm.
going straight for the S word.
Yeah.
I refuse to say it. I'm sorry. You guys will know what I'm saying.
The
I
S word.
refuse to say it because I really don't care for winter and I
Yeah.
just won't say it. And people have been
Mhm.
saying it all day. Even today when I was, out doing some errands, they're like, oh, it's all everybody's wearing all these jackets and we have to warm up because it's getting so chilly out there and like winter is coming and I'm like, yeah, okay, like
We know this. We know the routine. We should anyway. It's like a big shocker. But I think it's just we don't like it. A lot of people don't like it.
I'm one of those. But at the same time, why can't we
Yeah.
just really embrace and enjoy fall first? We
Yeah.
just automatically jump from summer to, I kid you not, people skip fall
Yeah.
because they jump right to winter. They're like, oh, before we know it, we're going to have.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, don't put it out there. I don't want any of that until at least December. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and you know what I feel like a lot of that is it's not
People
a fear,
preparing
but they
themselves.
fear
Right.
the snow. They fear the like hibernation feeling, being in your houses, all of the stuff that comes with it. You know what? The stress of Christmas for people. And that already has been the talk. I'm like, it's October 1st.
We haven't even hit Halloween Christmas yet.
I was like, hey, no, we're not going there yet. I love fall. I love fall. I know you do. You're a fall baby. I'm a winter baby, but I love fall. And I don't know if this is just a thing as you get older, but I just love that it's not so hot. And I know you love summer.
I'm already laughing because I'm like, I'm not one of those, but I do
know
love
you're not.
fall.
But for me, I'm like, oh, I just love fall because it's like that coolness in the air, but at the same time, you have the warmth of the sun. So I think I love the in between. So that's why I love fall.
Well, it's that transition, right?
You're just
like
feeling
I said,
it.
You're due. Exactly. And
beautiful.
It is a beautiful time of the year. I love fall. And yes, I am a fall baby. Like I love the fall. I love how the colors change. I do have to say though, even though I do love when the weather change, like the color changes and all that, I really wish we had like more colors, honestly, because we're just usually white or not white.
Get out of the S word, Shelly. See? See? We don't have white leaves.
I meant to say yellow.
Funny. Oh my gosh.
See how embedded they're getting into me? Oh my God. Like I can't
Cut
do it.
yourself off. Cut that
So-
lady out of your awareness.
Yeah.
Stop it. Unplug.
Oh God, I mean yellow. Because we have a lot of yellow here. And
Yeah.
you know, my husband's from, well, Dwayne is from the Maritimes. And so it is so beautiful in the Maritimes because they have the bright oranges and the reds.
Oh, I
and
love the reds. They're so beautiful.
they're so beautiful. And we hardly have that here. So sometimes I kind of miss, you know, that. The colors.
Extra colors. All the colors.
Yes, exactly. But it is beautiful because we just went for a walk yesterday and we were doing some trails and just all the leaves were on the ground and you know, it's beautiful. It is still beautiful. I love the color and everything. It's just, I wish we had a little bit more color. That's all.
Yeah, we went horseback riding.
Oh, cool.
On Monday or last Monday, something like that. And it was so fun. It was just like warm and beautiful. We went for a 2-hour ride and it was just the trees, like you're just immersed in the trees. And I was like, oh, look at all the colors. Oh my God, it's so beautiful.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love it all. It was a great date.
Nice.
So
good.
yeah. I really like it. So yeah, fall. Let's get out. So okay, we're off forecasting. We squirreled. Sorry, everybody. That's normal. And if you watched on YouTube, Shelly almost choked on her water. But yes, that is us. So yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit. I was telling Shelly yesterday, I was like, I just got a whole bunch of information yesterday, the channel through about the energy for October. And so I just want to kind of call it insight for October energetically.
Yes.
What I'm putting out there. And it's like 4.5 pages, little pages, but it was just like going. And I'm like, okay, when is this stopping? Just kept going. But I have, so I'm just going to kind of like go all over the pages and just hopefully it all makes sense.
Okay, sounds good.
To everybody.
And just so you know, I don't know what they are or anything. So I'm going to be fresh ears as well. So just
all new for Shelly.
Go along.
All new.
Yeah.
Do you know what's coming for October? Any feels for yourself before
for like myself or like the collective?
Let's say the collective. Yeah.
Honestly, I felt like September was, I don't know why, but normally like September to me is about, again, for me, I think I've talked about this before. So, you know how January is always the new year, everybody's like, oh,
yeah,
I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But that's how I feel about September. But for some reason, this time for September, I did not feel that. It felt more, I know this sounds weird, but it felt more chaotic. Like people weren't settled.
This year.
Yeah. Like nobody was settling. Nobody was like, they were just totally out there. Like, that's what I felt for September. Yeah. And normally that's not what happens. I, at least for me anyway, or when I'm around other people that, in September. But yeah, this time it was definitely different. Like the energy was different. The people were different. And I think, we had a super moon, didn't we? In September as well. Yeah. I just really felt off. I did not feel the normal things that I usually feel. So that's what I felt. Yeah.
Yeah. We had a super full moon in Aries.
Right. Yes.
And that was just on Friday, the 29th.
Oh, really? Because
the 29th of September. But it started about Wednesday, lasted till about Sunday.
Okay.
So we just came out of that. But normally for September, end of August into September, we go into that Virgo season. And so that Virgo season is the routine, everybody's getting back into routine, this, all of that good stuff. You're starting new things, blah, blah, blah. But I really felt I felt the same thing. It felt even though I felt like everybody had a harder time settling into the routines. I felt everybody was more like agitated or irritated, and I felt like it was harder for them to settle into the routines.
Mm-hmm.
And what Spirit said to me yesterday for September, they said September was a slip, like a slip and slide. That's what they said it was. That's what they felt like, not really grounded.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like, I'm trying to do something, but I'm slipping over here, and I'm trying to do something and slipping over here. So just kind of feeling a little of that, like unsettled.
Yeah.
So that is definitely what September felt. And I was like, yeah, that feels in alignment for me.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of clients that were saying that too, usually I feel like this and this when September comes, but they were also feeling that unsettlement.
Yeah.
So little shifts for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So what they were saying for October is just to kind of prepare for, and this is again, anything I ever share is not to instill fear in anybody.
Right.
It's just awareness. So don't start freaking out, because literally what I'm going to talk about is we're going to talk about the ego. So just have awareness and don't let it like take over.
And remember, we always say what aligns with you, take, and doesn't align with you, leave.
Yes,
So just
awareness.
That.
This is literally all awareness, only because it's going to be all about facing the ego. And so you really you're going to be forced to look at it. That's all. You don't have to, but eclipse is going to make you. So you're not going to really have a choice anyway. So again, it's not fearful, but just a heads up. So Spirit was just saying that October was going to be more or less like a hammering. So kind of like things coming at you. And it's like all the little things that you're ignoring. So even if you clean your room and you do the routine thing, like you clean your whole living room, but maybe you don't get to every part of the living room. You know how you clean, but you don't actually like go corner to corner.
Right.
Everybody does this, unless, I'm sorry, there maybe are some people that do that full deep clean all the time. So it's the little things that you're missing. And sometimes it's the things that we actually are choosing to not look at.
Right.
So even when you clean the room, like I'm going to clean all this stuff, the corners need to be done, or the baseboards, but you're like, I really don't want to do it.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what October is going to feel like. So we're going to go into eclipse season, which we're going to have another eclipse portal, which the analogy I like to use between eclipse portals, the energy is so intense. So we're going to have a new moon, the solar eclipse, that's like new moon solar eclipse on October the 14th.
Okay.
That's the start. Then we're going to have a full moon lunar eclipse on October 28th. That's the window.
Okay.
Shelly and I are in Sedona.
Yep.
During this eclipse window. So I'm like,
exactly.
Oh boy, I hope my whole family stays together. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're all going together.
It's not going into Scorpio, is it?
Well, Scorpio season will start as well through this window. Okay. So with eclipse window, this is the analogy I used before in the past is because we've already had one earlier this year. And it's intense. It's like, I almost say it's like living in one apartment building and you have another apartment building. Like if you think of like big cities, New York or something, and there's like the apartment building and then there's one like right beside it. Like even when you see in Spider-Man, they can like jump from building to building kind of thing. Okay. Just the visual I want to put out there. And so if you imagine two buildings like this, and you've been living in this apartment for a while and you've got all your stuff in there and whatever. And so you're basically going to like jump out of the window and jump into the other building. You could jump into that window and you're going to live over there, but you can't take everything with you.
Right.
So you're just going to take basically what you can as you jump. And in that jump, a lot of things can happen. It's like you become lighter as you move through this portal. You're literally going to just leave a lot of this like stuff. So Spirit's calling it though, it's the little things that you're ignoring. That's the hammering. Like, it's time. You can't just ignore the little dust in the corner anymore.
Okay, so are you saying like the little stuff that you are that are coming with you not being left behind is what you're saying?
No, you're going to be you'll be forced to look at those things in the jump. Because
Okay.
even though you're like, I'm going to take these belongings with me and I'm going to jump through, but they're like, oh, but hey, you actually didn't like finish like cleaning
Right.
the whole area before
Okay.
you go.
Okay.
So it's kind of like leaving that damage deposit. If you don't
Right.
clean it, you don't get it back.
That's right.
So
yeah. Yeah.
you're kind of going to need to do that. You're going to have to like look at everything.
Okay.
So they're just saying this is going to be a huge acceleration energetically. And it's going to feel like tough times energetically. Because it's harder. You have to look at these things. It's like they're going to come to surface as we talk about in moons, like things coming to the surface. We're purging, we're letting go. Same thing. But with the eclipse, this is, yeah, this is really where it's like almost, I want to say ego denying. It's just like, no, you can't do this. You have to look at it. Whatever you know that you've been ignoring. So if you had to sit down and make a list of the things that you've been like leaving, kind of like, I don't really want to deal with those, kind of on the back burner, you try to push them away. Those are the ones that you're most likely going to have to face through an eclipse portal.
Which is funny because in the last week,
Mm-hmm.
out of all the clients that I've read,
yeah,
that has come up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening.
Every one of them.
And this is what we're moving into. So this is even energetically for October. This is what we're energetically going through. But in the eclipse portal, it's also like, that's the big like hammer down.
Okay.
Okay. So there's going to be a lot of people are going to experience more of like the major energetic issues within the physical body. And maybe some already have been having that, but that's also still going to be there. So like ascension, do you think ascension symptoms?
Okay. And so for those that don't remember what ascension symptoms are, maybe go over those so that they have an idea.
It can be anything. It can feel like cold symptoms, but yet you're not sick, but you're presenting like you're sick. Flu-like symptoms, but yet maybe you don't. Maybe vertigo,
fatigue,
sleepless nights, you know, restlessness. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All of those things.
Right.
Ringing in your ears, feeling nauseous, feeling lightheaded and dizzy.
Yeah.
Teeth aching, you know, like just achiness.
Body achiness. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Feeling like you're carrying a lot energetically because your body is going to be processing. So as it's, but that's part of ascension as well, right?
Exactly. I just wanted people to know and remind them, especially if they haven't, you know, maybe not noticed or will notice.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people, this is like that flu cold season, right? So
it is. It is. Yeah.
So there is that. So if you're sick, you're sick. And sometimes when we go through a sickness like that, we are ascending again. Your body's going through something. So you might feel like you have symptoms, present and not actually. And sometimes when you're actually sick, you are also going through something as well.
Right. Okay.
So hopefully you can just ride it. I mean, we all have to anyway, but.
Well, yeah.
You're going to have to anyway.
Yeah.
And this is a big thing, especially anybody that's a light worker or is like those frontline light workers. They're definitely going to feel it. You're definitely going to feel a lot of like physical issues in October. You're going to feel like all these little things that you've been trying to ignore are going to come in your face. Okay. That is part of us moving forward. It's just part of what we have to go through.
Okay.
Okay. Yay.
Yeah.
So I know Shelly looks so unimpressed. She's like, I'm sure I heard in your mind, like, oh, great, or oh, fuck.
I was thinking, but
I don't want it. Yeah.
Well, it's not that I don't want it. It's just like, I feel like that's all I ever do. I feel like I'm always in ascension.
I know.
So
And we are.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And then the other thing I want to say is this is all part of the dimensional shifts that are happening. And we're going to experience a lot more collapsing timelines.
Okay.
And like glitches in it. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sure it does to some people too. Like what? Like literally, I was talking to my class yesterday. I was talking about 2025 and I'm like, I just totally left. I'm like, what year are we? And they're like 2023. I'm like, oh my God, I got to come back to 2023. I was already talking about 2025. Like I was in it already.
I was writing.
It's crazy.
I was writing.
I wrote different dates.
So did I. I was like, what in the hell am I doing? Why am I writing this?
These are the glitches.
Yeah. But I've also noticed other things, but yes. Okay.
So putting that out there, that's part of what's going to happen. October is going to be our acceleration energetically, ascension wise, dimensional shifting. This is the acceleration they're calling it. And what you already started, you're going to accelerate. Everything that you've already started in your life, whether it's like working on yourself, your business, your whatever, we're going faster. Okay. I'm sure you probably also noticed time is going faster.
Yep.
So fast. Like it's just, it's rapid. It's wild. So these like, again, going back to that little dust along the edges, there's like anything that is not serving you, this like long been ignoring. So even if there was an issue, what did they say over here? Like this will be about like resolving conflicts, like even with relatives, coworkers, anything that there's like been this long ongoing issue, but you just kind of keep ignoring it. That's what eclipse is going to make you deal with. This is going to come up. Can't ignore. So I'm already going, oh, great. Because I know the things I'm ignoring. And so I'm like, okay. So at least if I have insight, I'll feel more prepared and knowing that this is part of what I need to go through, as opposed to like going, I hate this and I don't want to go through this, but to know that I'm going to come out on the other side of it. And it's what needs to happen. It's time is good. I look at it as a positive.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, eclipse is going to crack open the ego. It's going to purge. And it's whatever the ego is like, the ego is the one that has the hold on it. Because it's like, no, we don't want to go there.
Right.
We don't want to talk to that person and do that, So, or whatever.
We don't want to ruffle the feathers. We don't want to do any of that. Yeah.
No.
Why would we want to do that?
Unless some people, that's your thing. I know for me, it's not.
No.
That is not my thing. So I'm like, oh boy, forgive me, anybody. If I come barking up anyone's tree, mercy on me. Okay. So Spirit just said to ask yourself, what are you holding on to? That would be the thing to look at, just so you're kind of in preparation. What are you holding on to that you know in your mind, your thinking mind? Okay. And they said it's also going to feel like this is like you're just being dragged through it. Kicking, screaming, but you just got to flow through it. That's what they're saying.
Again, if anybody's watching on YouTube, you'll see my facial expression.
That's like all I imagine when they said that. All I could imagine was like all these like light workers,
I know.
being dragged, kicking and screaming. I'm like, oh, joy. But this is building us, moving us in the direction to build for new foundations. Okay. And we have to remember that we're in this, they're saying like we're in the between. We're in the between of Pisces and the Aquarian New Age.
Okay.
So this is all of like what's out there. This is what we're moving into. So we have, in order for us to move into that new, this old ego
has to go.
It's got to go. It's got to go. So a lot of people will feel this individually. Again, if you're one of those light workers, if you're a light worker, you're a frontline worker as a light worker,
Right.
and one of those.
Yeah.
Most likely you're going to feel this, but energetically, the collective as well is going to feel that to some degree.
Okay.
Some more than others.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So again, Shelly and I will be in Sedona during this eclipse window. So be super interesting.
I'm literally laughing, not because I think it's funny. I'm laughing because it's like, great.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did yesterday morning after all this came through. I was like, and it's written down on my book, we will be in Sedona during eclipse season. And I was like, oh, great. I was like,
so does that mean it's going to be worse for us or better for us?
Right? I'm like, how much are we needing to prepare? Will Empath Sisters be no more? I'm just kidding. Trying to make it funny because I'm a little bit nervous.
But they're probably screaming now.
They're like, stop letting the ego come in. Stop it.
Yeah.
Right?
Just let it happen.
It's going to be what it's going to be. It'll be really interesting to see what happens when we come back in November and we start talking on the podcast.
Well, yeah. We'll see what happens.
I'm like, I wonder if I could predict that. I don't know. Not there yet.
No.
Okay. So they said, don't be in the ego. Don't be in this, like, I got this. That's what they said. Okay. I'm tough. I'm fine. That's ego. So you need to watch that. That's the ignoring.
Yeah.
So don't do that. But we're all ignoring something. They said the hammer is coming down on what we've been ignoring.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the acceleration. It's going to happen mentally, physically, emotionally. We're moving faster. So October is going to feel like a lot, but this is all about resolving those conflicts with relatives, coworkers. Maybe it's like testing your voice. It's like creating that, like, speak up for yourself, whatever that might be. Your higher self is going to become a lot clearer to you, which I already know that's been happening for me.
Me too.
I'm just like, oh man.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, this probably will make sense to you. You know how you feel like you and Dwayne are so in sync?
Yes. Yeah, but it's beyond that now.
I know. And that's how I feel with my higher self. I'm just like, can you just stop reading my thoughts? Like, that's how I feel. Yes. Like, I feel like we are so in sync, me and my higher self, that
I know.
like we're just one, which is great. That's what it should be.
Yeah, I know.
But it's a little unfamiliar to be that on.
Well, yeah, I'm going to say for me, like, it's like one of those.
Or so aware that maybe it's the awareness of how, maybe it's been like that, but maybe that's the shift, is the awareness that I have of how on it is, how in sync. It's just like immediate. And maybe that's the clearer that they're talking about.
It could be because
that's the like slow delay of like, when will Bev get this?
Right.
It's like, she got it. She got it.
Yeah. Because even Dwayne, like the other day, for example, I like literally heard Dwayne talking in his hair, like his head or his mind.
Yeah.
And I say it out loud and Dwayne goes, are you literally like, how are you doing that? I know. Like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't know how come, but all of a sudden I can hear what you're saying, like in your head.
But it's just, you hear it, but it's just coming out.
Yes.
You're just saying it.
No, I just say it. And then
everybody's been like, yes, that same thing. That was literally in my head. I'm like,
yes, I know. And I go,
I didn't mean to. Like, I didn't even intentionally go there. I
know.
I'm so
tap into people.
No.
I know.
I'm like, I don't want to be inside people's heads. I don't.
I don't either. But that happened. It's been happening to me the last week or so.
It's wild.
Like,
it's been happening
more and more. I mean, it's been happening, but like, it just seems like what you just said. It's like, bam. It's like, right there.
There's no time to process it of like, it's just happening.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Every group setting I'm in, I'm with people, I just say it. But I already now know it's in somebody else's head. when it comes out, I'm like, oh, that was somebody
Yes.
else's.
Mhm.
And they're like, that was just in my mind. I'm like, I know.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, but not sorry. I just felt like it needed to come out.
I did that by accident with a client. Like I didn't mean to, but
Of course not.
it was at I had a client,
Yeah.
but they were with a child,
Mhm.
and they wanted to be the child said that the parent could stay
Yeah.
while I was giving a healing session and everything.
Yeah.
And so we're done and all this. And again, right away it happened, but I just said it. And
Yeah.
she looked at me and was like, she goes, did you just read my mind? And I go, I'm so sorry. Oh, like, I did not mean to do that. I don't do that, but I heard you say it. So I just thought I'll just answer your question.
Exactly.
She
In case
was
you
like,
really wanted to ask me, which I feel you did, and I
yeah,
thought I would answer
she
you.
did. And I was like, whoops. And then she came and saw me on her own a week later, and
gosh.
she was like, yeah, I still can't get over that. Like,
Yeah, you creeped her right out. Just like, that was creepy.
oh,
I
I'm
know.
so sorry.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It is a
And
thing.
I'm sure others might be experiencing that as well. So that's just going to continue to be more, Shelly.
Great.
So
Okay.
you know. Yeah. So
okay.
What else did they say? Yeah.
Oh, she's
Sorry.
laughing.
I'm laughing. Because the next thing that was channeled after I just said your higher self is coming in clear and you're knowing.
Yes.
Then the next thing it says, newer awakening might feel like, what is this? It's like literally what we just did. What is this? But it's happening.
Yes.
My God, spirit. Frick, just crack me up. Okay, so here's what you should do is what they said. Make a list of what you should look at and process.
Okay.
So have awareness and then work on it.
Okay.
Might as well just start
Prepare.
Get ahead. It won't feel so hammering down, right? Let's just it's like preparing for the marathon race. We're just going to practice every day a little bit, working on it. And then we can get to that place of we can do the full marathon. We got this. But again, watch that. I got it. I'm fine. Yeah. Okay. So the other thing they said is you need to get into nature because this is how we're needing to share our light. We need to be in nature. Like a lot of light workers, I can almost tell you probably you already recognize this too with a lot of people and maybe yourself, is that there's a huge calling to be in nature a lot because this is how we are feeding our light because it's a lot. So we need to get back in nature. And this is how we're going to share our light. So really encourage you to get in nature as much as you can. Spirit also said just to find your tribe and just stick with them.
Okay.
As you're moving through all this stuff. And as we move forward, it's just continuing to build that collective, finding your tribe, staying in that vibration. It's good for us.
Right.
They said the breakdowns have to happen before the creativeness of that Pisces and Aquarian, that in between. So we have to break down in order for that new creative to come in, for us to be able to go into the higher dimensional shift.
Okay.
So there's some great strides of divide that are coming. I think that just needs to be out there. I'm not going to elaborate, but I just going to put that out there. But it's all about we need to come together and connect. And it's linking arms, it's rising up and just coming together, being stronger. So I feel like the messages is just really supporting each other.
Right.
Doesn't matter. Don't be judgmental.
Yes.
Right. Get out of the mind. Don't have fear. Okay, you guys, seriously, fear is the lowest vibration of all.
Yeah.
So try to stay out of fear, please, for yourself and your sanity and your mental health, your everything. Just, it's not good for your body. It's not good for anything, but
no,
I would just really encourage you to just trust your knowing, stay in your knowing, trust yourself. Don't let anyone else convince you.
Right.
Just know yourself, trust yourself, and just find your tribe, stay in your high vibration, go in nature, do things for you, less time on your phone.
Yeah.
you know, all of those kind of like distractions. But this is and there's like a new awakening that's coming forward. So this is just how we're needing to like come together and support each other and not create more. If there's going to be more divide that's coming forward, let's hopefully not go in that direction.
Yeah.
And that's the message of like being stronger and supporting each other.
Mm-hmm.
No judgment. It's just, we just need to support each other. This is all about love and light. Just, that's it. That's our mission. And this is like a deconstruction phase, but we're going to stay afloat. It's not like we're all just going to drown,
right?
But it's just some things need to crumble away, and we're going to make it through, and we're going to float through it. But we always do.
Yeah, I was going to say we always do. It's just how
but this time maybe we can do things a little different, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And,
just
and supporting each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's it.
Good. All right.
What I got.
Interesting.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Definitely.
Oh, we will.
Oh, I know. But I just thought of something though, too, because you said it started on October 14th, and you and I are again together for that weekend.
Oh, I know. I'm
so
like, there's
before
so
Sedona, I mean.
I know. We're going to a retreat.
Yes, we're going to another retreat. So yeah.
Yes, it's gonna be.
I thought of that too. I was like, oh.
And again, this energy is already starting to come in. You know, and we're in Libra season, everybody. So Libra season is the scales, and this is all about balance.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't balance shit out, we're going to be frustrated. So you might as well just face it so you can be in alignment and be balanced. Shelly knows this.
I do. When I have like double Libra people.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So you're going to really feel it. And so maybe you're going to really be forced to like, you know what? I'm just going to do it.
Yes.
Just look at it. Just do it. You know, it's going to happen anyway. So
now, are you saying it's going to happen anyway because it's going to happen like this month, or is it going to just happen eventually to that person when like what? Because like what if there's people that aren't quite aware, right?
Oh, it's going to happen.
Okay,
but they just maybe won't have that awareness, right?
Right.
They might hate it, tell themselves they're fine. I'm going through all this stuff. All this stuff is coming up to the surface. Whatever. Maybe they're going to try to ignore it, and it's just going to be there.
Right. Okay.
So, but again, it's to know that the mind is going to do that. I'm fine. Right. I'm okay.
Of course.
Are you really? Do you need some support? No, I got it. It's okay. No, I really need you. You know? Yeah. I'm going to be doing that to Shelly. Shelly and I are going to be crying on each other's shoulders. Hold me. Help me.
In a way, I hope not. But if we have to, we will.
I'm going to be like, I'm so tough. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's going to be more like, I'm so done.
I'm so done. Yeah. I'm so done. I'm so sick of this shit.
Exactly.
But you know what? I've been riding this wave for what feels like an eternity already. For myself, I don't know about for you, but for me, I've been on an awakening journey for a long, this has been like 10 years for me. Yeah. And it's been up, down. I have had so much ascension. I'm like, all right, here we go. We're just going to ride another wave.
I feel like it's been like that for me, but at the same time, I think a lot of times because you know who I am, I'm not always quite aware.
Balanced.
And I find when I'm out of balance, that's definitely where I notice it like a lot for me. And it feels like I was even thinking this the other day that I can't remember a time that I really was balanced. If I looked at my life, like from birth to now, I don't know where I was balanced anywhere, to be honest. Really.
Well, I feel like even when we did your birth chart, I feel like and maybe I'm wrong, but my feeling on this side of the spectrum, outside looking in, and just as a feeler in my awareness is that I feel like you've been stepping more listening to more of what it is that you want and starting to feel like there's some balance coming to you.
Yes,
I feel like
and
you've been aware, you're more aware. And I feel like that's what's been, that's like the process you're going through right now. I feel like you're
yes, and that's why I'm saying, like, I feel like, from birth to like, okay, I'll say for probably the last few years, 5 maybe.
Yeah.
But up until then, I definitely know that I was not like not in balance at all. And I do feel like I can sort of, like you said, yes, there are moments that I do feel like, okay, I could have a little bit of balance, but it just seems like I usually, kind of go one way or the other, right? Because of the way I am. But yeah, so hopefully be tipping the scales too hard.
Hopefully not.
That's what I'm saying.
Like how much dust you got on either side of those scales.
Actually, you just made me think of something real quick. So you know how speaking of my chart, you said I have no earth in my chart, right? And I was with a bunch of ladies, lovely ladies. We got together and we just had like this little get together and we read, some cards and what have you. And we just got to, get to know each other, and something came into my awareness. And I never looked at it this way, but we were talking about, tattoos and things like that. And the lady that was in the group, she says, "Oh my gosh," she goes, "I really love your feet tattoos." And I go, "Yeah, I really love them. I've always been such a foot person." And she goes, "Oh my God." She's like, "That's where you get your grounding." And I went, "Oh my God." It never registered. It never did. I was like, I never registered that, because I didn't have, grounding in my chart or anything like that. No wonder I like having stuff on my feet. Like, no wonder, because it helps
you ground. Well, that's so interesting because I've always known that about you, but I just assumed you knew that about yourself.
No,
but
no, I had no idea, but I obviously needed to know
at this time.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I said I'm not the most aware person. So sometimes, even though it might be balanced, I might not be, because I'm just not that aware. And so when she said that, it just went like, honest to God, it just clicked. And I went, "Oh yeah,
I love those epiphanies."
That's exactly it. And it's stuck with me now.
Yeah. And that is just part of what I want to point out is your higher self knowing what it is that you need. So this is also something that it's been doing for you all along without you having the think awareness,
the knowledge.
Yeah, it's just so natural. It was just you were doing what you felt you needed to do.
Like, I remember the first time we talked about tattoos, right? And I remember going, I want it on my foot. Like, I knew right away where the placement was going to be. I already knew that it was going to be on my foot. Like, it's amazing. So it just came to like all like together. So I just was like, whoa.
Oh, I've had so many epiphanies in the last little while. And it all started with my accident in August. So I'm just like, oh, wow, another huge lesson I had to learn. Wow. Okay. So I've learned a lot of lessons lately, and it's been, the word I've been using is like, it's pretty rad.
Mine's amazing. I just keep saying amazing.
I was at amazing, and now lately it's been rad.
Cool.
And my clients are like, wow, I haven't heard that in a long time. I'm like, yeah, I'm going back 80s. I don't know what's happening to me, but I have no idea. Oh my gosh.
No, exactly.
Lots of awareness, which I'd love to talk about maybe in another episode, but
absolutely.
Lots of really good stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
It's just been like mind blowing. And it actually started at our last retreat we went to. So it's been pretty cool. So yeah, I'd love to.
Yes, we could definitely talk about that next time.
So that is what's coming up for October.
Okay.
For everybody, great. And maybe more intense for some others, but all part of the process. And
Mhm.
again, just remember, listen to yourself, know yourself, trust your intuition. I encourage that for everybody, all my clients all the time. Just listen to what you need, what you
Yeah.
feel. Just trust your knowing. It's not
Yeah.
wrong. You guys, ego is negative. So just try to go into what you're feeling and knowing.
Mhm. All right. Well,
That's
thank
it.
you for sharing that today.
Yeah, no problem.
I mean, you know, like,
Hey,
I
insight is
think,
great.
well, exactly. I was just gonna
It's
say,
like
you
a
know,
reading
for
for
having
everybody.
that, you know, insight is good, and knowledge is always good, right? So, you know,
Yeah.
like Bev said, it's just an awareness. And what we said before
Yeah.
too is take what you know, take out of this, and,
Yeah.
you know, don't put fear into it, like she said. And
Mhm.
well, try not to anyway, you know, I mean, of
Please
course.
don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just,
just please don't.
yeah. So just really be conscious of that. And yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah. Well, thank you
Yay.
so much. Okay,
You're
well,
welcome. Thank you.
thank you everyone for listening today. I hope
Yeah.
that you got some insights for October.
I hope
And
so too.
we're super excited because we do have like lots on the go, Bev and I, this month. So we'll
Yeah.
probably be sharing quite a bit of stuff later.
Yeah.
And yeah, it'll be
It'll be
exciting.
so
I'm
great.
excited, can't wait.
Me
And
too.
yeah, it'll be good. So
Gonna
thank you
do one of
again
those
for
breakouts.
listening and tuning in to the Empath Sisters once
You
again.
got
And
it.
we hope that you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful month. And
Yes.
we're sending you love, light, and gratitude wherever this may find you.
You
Talk to
got
you
it.
soon.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.